Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Fox.
The Rays and the A's have split the first two games of their three-game set at Tropicana Field. Thursday night, Alex Cobb dominated Oakland, tossing his first career complete game shutout. Then last night, former Ray Johnny Gomes belted an eighth-inning home run, proving to be the difference as the A's won 5-4. Today, another great pitching matchup. Jeremy Hellickson faces Oakland right-hander Brandon McCarthy. The series finale starts now on Sun Sports. This afternoon at Tropicana Field, the Rays finish off 19 straight days without a day off. They've gone 14-4 in the first 18 of those games. And this afternoon, they wrap up the series against the Oakland A's. And with all of that winning, the Rays find themselves 3.5 back in the American League East and right on top of the American League wildcard race, a game and a half in front of both Baltimore and Oakland. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an afternoon of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. Dwayne Stats will be hearing from Todd Callis in just a few moments as the Rays prepare to battle this Oakland ball club. They're going to send Jeremy Hellickson to the mound, last year's Rookie of the Year, coming off two very good starts. He got just one win out of that, but pitched well. He was victimized by the perfect game out in Seattle.
Yeah, well, Jeremy Hellickson, the last two starts, he's gone 7 innings in each start, and what has allowed him to do that is he's become much more efficient these last two starts. You see the numbers, just 7 strikeouts in the 14 innings. He's not walking a lot of guys, not striking a lot of guys out, but he's getting a lot of early in the count outs. You go back to that last start we saw, very efficient with all his pitches. The changeup was good, the fastball was good, and maybe the best curveball that we've seen from Jeremy all season long. Good power curveball to both sides of the plate. And Jeremy Hellickson going 7 innings those last two starts. He hasn't gone 7 innings up until then since the end of May.
And for your local Southern Ford dealers, the pitching matchup, Jeremy Hellickson 8-8 and Brandon McCarthy, tall right-hander with a record of 6-5, recently off some time on the disabled list with shoulder issues. He's been pitching well for Oakland. The series finale, not only of this 3-game series, but of the season series between these two clubs. They're even in both accounts. Rays and the A's coming up. Todd Callis has more in a moment.
Saturday afternoon as we get you ready for the A's and the Rays. Both teams vying for a wild card spot. The Rays obviously still in contention big time for the AL East, 3.5 games back. Right now, Tampa Bay leads both Baltimore and Oakland by a game and a half in the wild card picture. Sam Fuld had surgery on April 3rd, expected to miss 4 or 5 months. They thought maybe when rosters expand, Sam would be ready to go for the Rays. But in typical Sam Fuld fashion, he exceeded expectations, returning to the team on July 24th, right after the All-Star break. 23 games in, Sam has hit over 300, 4 RBIs, 10 runs scored. He's allowed Joe Madden to give B.J. Upton and Matt Joyce and Desmond Jennings days off. You got to love the max effort at all times from number 5, Sam Fuld. He kind of brings an energy level that you rarely see in the big leagues. When we caught up with Sam yesterday, we asked him about how he's been feeling lately.
Yeah, I feel really good. I think having that sort of extended rehab program helped me just get physically ready, and it's nice. I mean, it's, you know, playing every third day or maybe two of 3 games. It's great because you stay, you know, you're involved enough so that you don't feel rusty, but you also give your body a break. So I feel as good as I could possibly feel.
Sam in there today playing center field in place of B.J. Upton, getting the day off. We are ready for baseball in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It's the A's with Brandon McCarthy on the mound against the Rays with Jeremy Hellickson making his second start of this homestand. Enjoy all the action right here on Sunsport.
Afternoon is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. From the Trop, rubber game of the series, the Rays and the A's go at it. Bob Melvin's lined up has Coco Crisp leading off, followed by Stephen Drew and Yoenis Cespedes. Seth Smith, Chris Carter, and Joe Reddick down the middle. Josh Donaldson back at third. George Gutierrez will do the catching, and Cliff Pennington hits ninth. He'll play second base.
Taking the mound this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Rays, right-hander Jeremy Hellickson making his 24th start of the season, even up record at 8-8, but he has been very good his last 2 times out in Seattle. And home here against the Kansas City Royals, gone 7 innings in each start, giving up just 1 earned run, and was very good last time out. Sharp with all of his pitches, especially the curveball, maybe the best curveball we've seen from Jeremy this year.
Well, he's set to go to work, and Coco Crisp, the switch-hitting outfielder in there from the left side. First pitch of this game is a little bit low. First pitch presented by Pinch-A-Penny. 1 ball, no strikes. Marty Foster calling the balls and strikes. Jeff Kellogg first, Vic Carapazza at second, and Eric Cooper down at third. It's foul right back out of play. 1-1. Chris 0 for 4 last night. Nothing out of 4 in the first game of the series. And he lines it foul. 1 hop and into the stands. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Rays start this day 3.5 back of New York in the East atop the wild card. Oakland second in the West. They are 6 games back of Texas and trail the Rays by 1.5 games in the wild card. Just a little bit of that one. A foul ball holds the count. It's 1-2.
Very, very close there to picking up a strikeout. Jeremy making some quality pitches here to Crisp, both sides of the plate. That ball just rattled in and out of the glove of Jose Lobaton. Let's see if he follows that up with that good curveball that he's able to drop in on the outer half. Be a nice place for
it. And it's down. Tried the curveball.
Now that, you know, listen, you throw that fastball a little bit of elevation away and you get the swing and a foul ball. Drop that curveball, and we saw him. That's what made that pitch so special in his last start, his ability to throw it on either side of the plate.
Now the count is full. Hellickson 98 pitches in the 7 innings and defeating Kansas City. Ground ball. That's a fair ball past the diving Pena beyond the bullpen. Joyce will play the carom, and Crisp is on his way to second with a stand-up double. 2-base hit to open this game for Crisp. His 16th double of the year, and just like that, Oakland has a scoring threat.
Well, Coco Crisp knows that Jeremy does not want to walk him, so he's looking, you know, for that fastball, and Jeremy throws that ball in. Not a lot of margin for error there, and Crisp is able to get the bat head to it and keep it fair and out of the reach of Carlos Pena. The leadoff double.
Here's Stephen Drew. Drew now 3 of 13 in an Oakland uniform, coming over from Arizona. And the pitch is a strike. Ray swung around, playing Drew to pull the ball. Roberts and Pena deep on the right side. And he's out in front. Cutting the miss. 0-2. Drew had hit a little over 190 with Arizona, coming back from the ankle injury. Check to the runner by Hellickson. The check swing by Drew. Foul ball. Still a 2-strike count.
Take a quick look at the Rays defense as it lines up this afternoon in the outfield. Left to right, Desmond Jennings, Sam Folden, Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Ben Zobrist, Ryan Roberts, and Carlos Pena. Jose Lobaton will be behind the plate. This afternoon's Ray defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burger.
Foul the other way. That'll play it goes, and the count holds at 2 strikes. Runner at second. And the fastball off the plate in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, the fastball in. A little bit more off the plate that time, and it squares the count to Drew at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oakland in here, winners in 7 of their last 9. So they are 11 over 500. That ties their season's high. Ground ball headed toward the middle, backhanded by Roberts. No play. Over to third goes Crisp. Well, Roberts got to the ball to keep it on the infield. That's a base hit for Drew. Crisp advances to third. So it's first and third with nobody out.
Man, it looked like Ryan Roberts had some trouble getting that ball out of his glove. He got there in plenty of time and had a play. It would have been a very impressive play, but he gets to it. And then right here, kind of fumbling around and decides to hold on to it. Probably wisely so at that point.
Yeah, Drew in with a base hit. And Crisp now at third. He'll enter Cespedes up here. Hellickson pitched against Oakland here at the Trop back in early May on the 5th of May. Had a no decision at a 12-inning game won by Oakland 4-3. A pitch inside to Cespedes.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on Yoenis Cespedes. Brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. This is the guy in that Oakland lineup. You do not want to allow him to beat you if you can help it, especially with Seth Smith hitting behind him this afternoon. And since the All-Star break, that's one of the main reasons why. This guy has absolutely been tearing it up. Shows no signs of slowing down.
And that's a little low. 2-0. And that started May for Hellickson against Oakland. He gave up a run on a home run to Josh Reddick in the first inning. And that was that game when he left in the 4th. He had made 102 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. Gave up 3 runs, 2 earned. And Cespedes out in front. With the change up, the count goes to 2-1.
Well, nice weapon to have here in this situation, especially down 2-0. Able to come with that change up, get a strike here on Cespedes. Tough spot to be in. And, you know, this Oakland lineup, you talk about the 102 pitches in less than 4 innings. They will make you work. They'll take their walks.
And he comes back with a breaking ball to get him looking. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And a nice job by Jose Lobaton to freeze that ball. You know, a lot of catchers, they get a little bit lazy with the wrist right there. That ball was right at the bottom of the zone. And if he doesn't stick that as he catches it, that may not be called a strike.
Two. A little tapper foul. Curveball again. Yeah, these two teams, the Rays and the A's, mirror each other quite a bit, and that includes walks. They're frequently 1 and 2 in the league in walks drawn.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, even offensively, you know, they don't do a whole lot on the batting average side of things. In fact, Oakland worst batting average in Major League Baseball. But yeah, they draw their walks, they steal bases, try to create offense, manufacture runs as best they can because both teams have tremendous pitching staffs.
The 2-2 popped up right side. Pena backing up from first base makes the catch. So the runners hold first and third on the pop up to first off the bat of Cespedes.
Boy, you could not have asked for a much better result than that, maybe outside of a strikeout. Strikeout or a weak pop up, and a nice job by Jeremy to get that infield pop up for the first out. I mean, now you got a chance to make a pitch down in the zone, get something hit into the ground, and maybe get out of this inning.
Here's Smith. Smith, the DH. The pitch is down, and you're right about that. If he can get him to hit the ball on the ground, Smith, who's just back from a hamstring injury, and they're going to utilize him as a DH for the time being because of that. So if they can get him to hit the ball on the ground, he'd be a good double play candidate. And out in front. Change up, and the count is 1-1. Chris doubled. He's at third, moving up on the infield hit by Drew. One. Foul the other way. Out of play it goes. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Smith. Yeah, let's take a look at these two clubs. Right down wins and losses. Batting average pretty close to the same. Runs per game, home runs, and team ERA. So they have very similar seasons in almost every category.
Well, and you know, no surprise then that the season series is all knotted up right here, and this is the rubber match for the year.
Yep. Over to first. Back in is the runner Drew.
You know, Oakland, another one of those teams that has the flair for the dramatic. We've seen what the Rays have been able to do here at Tropicana Field. Dramatic walk-off wins, always feeling like they're in the game and have the ability to come back. Well, Oakland cut out of the same mold, especially this year.
The 1-2. And that's too low. Leaving the count. A 2-2 count to the DH. And that's wide. Curveball that stayed out there. And the count is full. It's already a 25 pitch inning for Hellickson now. Working to his 4th hitter. 2 men on, only 1 out. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down, and it's into center field. Crisp will score. Drew's going to go to third, so Smith strikes out, and on the steal of second, the throwing error on Lobaton allows the run to score. And going to third is Drew.
You know, I want to see that throw. It looked like that ball, that Lobaton on the transfer, that maybe that ball got caught up in the palm a little bit and it just sailed on him. It really didn't sail with any tail action to it. That makes you wonder if it got away from the fingertips and more into the palm. Let's see what happens here. Nice strikeout there. And then you see the throw. See, usually when a guy gets away from it, arm never gets through it, the ball will tail. That ball did not tail.
Here's Carter hitting one a mile to left on the first pitch, and that one is out of here. Chris Carter, an off-speed pitch, and he shoots it into the seats in left. And after the throwing error allowing a run to score, a two-run home run by Carter. And just like that, Oakland has a 3-0 lead.
Well, Carter stayed back just enough on this pitch by Jeremy. That was, you see right there, the changeup grip. That ball stays up and he stays back right on it.
Carter's 11th home run of the year.
That was a flip of the wrist. Shows you the kind of power that he has.
Now here's Josh Reddick. The pitch is down. Well, we were discussing Carter the other night in tandem with Cespedes. Cespedes has been red hot since the All-Star break, and Carter in about a month and a half has been very good for Oakland since his recall. There's a liner fouled into the seats. And the count is 1-1. A 1-1 count to Reddick. It's a foul ball back. It was Reddick who hit a home run off Hellickson in the first inning of the game here back in May. That was his 5th home run of the year. He has 25 on the season now. And recently it has been a struggle for him. But not for Carter, who just unloaded a 2-run shot. Foul ball. A home run given up by Hellickson, the 20th he has allowed this year. And the fastball is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Hellickson struggling a bit in the first 32 pitches, and he's 2-2 with Reddick. It's a foul ball out of play.
Well, it's been a combination in the early going here. Jeremy not as sharp as we've seen him in the past. You go back to just his last start, and Oakland doing a nice job of working at bats, fouling off some tough pitches.
Reddick moves this one foul back a third. Double, a single, a stolen base in the air, and then the home run. The 8th pitch of this at bat, and it's pulled into right field, a base hit. A couple of hops to Joyce. So Reddick is aboard. That's the 4th hit. And
another nice at bat by an Oakland hitter. Reddick fouling off some tough pitches, gets his ball down and in, doesn't hit it hard. That ball got in enough. I think it actually broke the bat, but he gets it out into right field for another base hit. And now 2 outs, a runner aboard. Hellickson already sitting at 35 pitches. This could be a 40-pitch inning. You hope.
There's the breakout, 35 so far, with Josh Donaldson, the third baseman, now in the batter's box. Donaldson hitting .230. He spent some time up with Oakland earlier. He was sent to Sacramento and just recalled about a week and a half ago. He's hitting .415 since coming back, 17 out of 41. Oakland off to a fast start. Ellickson's pitch, and he hits him. So Donaldson hit by a pitch. Ready catch to second. That's going to put men at first and second and continue the inning.
Well, this fastball just absolutely gets away from Jeremy. Runs it right in there on the hip of Donaldson. Right now, it's just been a little bit of a lack of command from Jeremy when he has made quality pitches. Oakland's been able to spoil a lot of them.
So 2 men on, 3 runs home, 2 outs, and George Kataris, the catcher, will be the hitter. Kataris taking a strike. Pitch is down, and it's 1-1. Crisp, Drew, and Carter have all scored. Now Reddick's at second, and Donaldson is at first. And a tapper off the first base side, foul, to take the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, he's about to make this a 40 pitch inning. This next pitch will be number 40 for Hellickson. Wide. 2-2 count on the 8th placed hitter. Out on strikes on a changeup. 3-run score. We got to the bottom of the first. Rays down by 3. Brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Well, the Rays will play a little catch-up here. Oakland putting a 3 spot up in the top of the first. The Rays will have Desmond Jennings, Sam Fuld, and Matt Joyce to try to get it started. Then Evan Longoria, Ben Zobrist, and Luke Scott, the DH. Carlos Pena, Ryan Roberts, and Jose Lobaton rounding out the Rays lineup.
Well, taking the mound this afternoon for the Oakland A's, right-hander Brandon McCarthy making his 16th start of the season. It's on the disabled list for about 2 months with some shoulder strain, right shoulder strain. He's made 3 starts since coming off the disabled list and has not been a smooth transition for Brandon. Been 0-2 with a 6.19 earned run average and 16 innings of work in those 3 starts. So maybe the Rays do have a chance here.
So here's Jennings hitting .244. And the pitch is a strike. The most problematic start for McCarthy was his last one at home against Minnesota. 1 ball and 1 strike. He made a couple of pretty decent starts against the White Sox in Kansas City on the road, and then went home and really struggled against the Twins. 1-2 the count. Let's see. 3 1/3 against Minnesota. 6 runs and 10 hits. And there's a line drive right back to him. McCarthy makes the catch.
I mean, Desmond hit that line drive right into Brandon's glove. Quick reaction here. Just stick the glove out, right into it goes.
Now Sam Fuld, who's getting a start in center field. B.J. Upton getting a day off. Fuld has swung the bat well in the 20-plus games he's appeared in. 1 ball, no strikes. And a strike. Fuld hitting at .315 with his on-base percentage over .350. It's 2-1. McCarthy lifetime 3-2 against the Rays with a .298 earned run average. And now the count goes to 3-1. The count goes full. There's Matt Joyce on deck. Sam, just a piece of that one. A foul ball. And that pitch is high. So the Rays have a base runner. Sam Fuld drawing a 1-out walk.
Let's take a look at the Oakland defense as it lines up. Right in the outfield, Yoenis Cespedes, Coco Crisp, and Josh Reddick. Across the infield, third to first, Josh Donaldson, Stephen Drew, Cliff Pennington, and Chris Carter. George Contreras will be behind the plate. This afternoon's Oakland defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
So here's Matt, the number 3 hitter in Joe Madden's lineup. He takes one a little close. 1 ball, no strikes. First time the Rays have seen McCarthy this year. Last year he was very good against the Rays, 2-0 with a 0.56 earned run average, covering 16 innings in those 2 outings. Fuld, the runner at first, drawing the walk. Joyce, that's a strike, 1-1.
Good sinking action on that fastball. You know, the Rays down 3 runs here in the early going. If you want to come back from a multi-run deficit, it starts with base runners. And the one thing that we've seen from the Rays the last couple of weeks is they have been able to piece together some innings, to put some at-bats together, and score 3-4 runs in an inning.
And puts Joyce down on the count. Pitch started off the plate and then caught it. It's 1-2.
You know, McCarthy will throw a lot of cutters. He's about between 75 and 80% fastball cutter to both righties and lefties.
There goes Full. The pitch, a swing and a miss. The throw's not going to be in time. Stolen base, and with the shift on for Joyce, third base was left open. And Gutierrez, the catcher, started to hustle his way down just in case Full got up and got into a foot race with anybody out there on the infield. The Joyce is out on strikes. Full has his 5th stolen base.
Well, Sam Full had that stolen easily. Good jump. Nice breaking ball by McCarthy to get Joyce. Got a chance here, though. 2 outs. Sam out at second.
Evan Longoria becomes the hitter. And you don't have to get all of those runs back with one swing. A run at a time would be sufficient. You've got all afternoon to do that.
Nothing in the rule book that says you have to score 3 at a time.
A strike the count to Evan. There's the strike. 0-2. The 0-2. 1-2. Bold at second with a walk and a steal. Off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ben Zobrist would be next. And he started to go and checked on the appeal down to first. Jeff Kellogg says he held up. It was pretty close.
That was close, and that pitch was not. It was a nice block there by Gutierrez. Another breaking ball by McCarthy. This one yanked down and away.
So it's 3-2. The pitch fouled back into the screen. Fastball down.
Trying to place that fastball out there, get the out to get out of the inning. You don't get it. You've reestablished that good arm speed, and now expect that breaking ball right off of that.
(3-2), and it's wide. So a walk in the Rays with a couple base runners. Well, 2 men on with 2 men out. There's nothing that says you can't score 3 at the same time.
And you could do that with one swing right here.
Yes, you could. Ben Zobrist will be the hitter. Zobrist, as we look at our Toyota trend, he's taken over the shortstop spot for the Rays, and he's done it with some offensive authority.
And included in all those numbers right there are 3 home runs. Joe wondered what the move may do to Ben Zobrist's offense. Well, it's augmented it.
So here's Zobrist taking a pitch down. Zobrist belted a home run in the game last night. That was his first time up. He drilled a fastball out against Garrett Parker. He also has a home run off McCarthy. He had that last year off McCarthy.
That had to be the only run then. He only scored one.
And the pitch is too low. 2-0. Longoria first, Bold at second. And Ben takes ball 3. Ben just 2 for 13 off McCarthy, but one of them a home run. And Luke Scott, who's on deck, 2 out of 6 with a home run. And a strike call. So it's 3 balls and a strike. McCarthy after a high pitch count first for Hellickson. McCarthy now at 26 pitches here in the bottom of the first. And now a full count.
Boy, that was a pitch there that caught a lot of plate by McCarthy in a 3-1 count. I don't see Ben Zobrist let too many of those go by.
See, right down the middle. 3-2. And a cut to miss. Zobrist out on strikes. That pitch had a little late cut to it. Rays lead 2 and trail 3-0.
The A's lead Tampa Bay 3-0 as we head into the second. Today's game is available in Espanol via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of FLA.
Jeremy Hellickson will go back out there on the hill to open the second inning after a 41 pitch first. Cliff Pennington, the second baseman, leads off. Pitch is low to him. Pennington, in just 6 at-bats, has 3 hits off Hellickson, including a home run. There's a strike, now 1-1. Three runs, 4 hits in the first, a hit batter, an error, but all the runs were earned as a result of the Carter home run. Now 1-2. Here's Carter, who belted the home run. A popper into left. Desmond Jennings makes the grab. One away.
Well, you can catch the Rays as they battle the Yankees on Wednesday, September the 5th. That day, the first 10,000 fans will receive a Carlos Pena home run figurine presented by Fresh for Florida Kids that highlights his celebratory trot around the bases. Tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com.
Now the top of the order for Oakland. Coco Crisp. And that's a strike. Crisp, two-base hit, opened the first. And he eventually came around to score. Shows the bunt, and that's a strike. 0-2. One ball, two strikes. Looper into center. Bull got a good jump, and that ball is going to drop in front of him. Nevertheless, that ball straight down the middle, and Bull came running in. But the ball not hit hard enough to carry to him, and a base hit for Crisp.
That ball sounded like it hit a hollow bat. Just a bad sound, and the ball didn't go anywhere. No man's land out in center field for a base hit. Right at you.
Stephen Drew. It's outside. So Crisp is 2 for 2. Hellickson 1 on 1 out in the second inning, facing the Oakland shortstop. Crisp keeping an eye on him. He's 28 out of 31 in the steal department for the year.
Interesting matchup here. Jeremy Hellickson's only given up 6 stolen bases on the season, 6 out of 9 as a pickoff to his credit.
Pitch is down. Crisp had started a little move off first there. Now here comes Jim Hickey.
Hey, he may see something here with Jeremy, because what I'm seeing is a guy, he's missing arm side, trying to go to that outside corner, just missing off now. Is it a case of something mechanical? Is Jim Hickey seeing something from the dugout, or is it just a case of being a little bit too fine because you don't feel as strong as you normally do? You're really trying to pitch to the edges and let that ball slide off. Whatever the case, Jeremy's got to find his way back onto that plate. Outer third. Trying to really bury that ball out there. Seems to just be cutting it off a little bit.
He's behind Drew, 2-0. Yeah, this has not been the Hellickson we've seen the last couple outings. Drew, 2-1.
Now, to me, it's a guy that right now, from the opening bell, first inning, has not had it, and he's searching for it, trying to find it, trying to buy himself some time, trying to figure out something to get by and hope that it clicks in at some point.
Yeah, we have seen him with much greater command, and with that, more of a presence and confidence out there and a little better tempo. Not seeing any of that right here.
No, and these are awful games to pitch because you know that things are not flowing like they normally do, or like you would like them to feel. But you've got to find a way to get outs and get deeper into this game.
A shot into right field. That's going to be caught by Joyce, who got back there one way or the other to make the grab. Well hit ball by Drew, and Crisp returns to first. So that's the second out. This broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome you and salute you for all that you have done and are currently doing. And wish you a safe return home. Here's Yoenis Cespedes. Ground ball headed to Longoria. Evans throw to first in time. No runs, a hit, one left. We go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Oakland. Ben Zobrist chatting with Derek Shelton there, and one would have to believe that goes back to that last at bat in the first inning when he saw a couple of pretty good cutters from the right-hander Brandon McCarthy.
Yeah, and it's almost like right there he's talking about expecting that ball to go this way. It's coming back like.
Yeah, it's a cutter instead of maybe a four-seamer.
Yeah.
There's a bunt by Scott, picked up by McCarthy, and the throw skips past Carter. Backed up by Pennington, and so Luke Scott is aboard. Rays get a bunt single from Luke Scott to start the second.
Well, anything that you can try to do to get on base here, and Luke Scott drops this bunt down, hustling up the line. McCarthy's throw a little bit low and wide.
Well, the Rays down by 3. They need a base runner or 2 and then a long one.
Oh, that's the other thing. Chris Carter had his footwork already set at first base. And when you, as a right-handed first baseman, if your left foot is on the bag, that cuts down your range on how far you can get out. Maybe if he waits to set his feet, he could cross over, backhand that ball. He's going to have much more room using that right leg.
Yeah, that's pretty basic footwork.
Yeah,
for a first baseman.
It was preset.
Yep. Here's Carlos Pena, and the pitch is a strike.
You think about it. The leg. Listen. Left leg on the bag. Guess what? Glove is on the left arm.
Yeah.
You're tied there.
Yeah.
You have the right leg on there. Look at all the room that you can have. You can stretch out there, backhand that ball probably quite easily.
There's a strike, 0-2 to Pena.
Well, today's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
And Pena's hit by the pitch. An 0-2 pitch, and that's going to move Scott up to second base. So Pena will take over at first.
Now we keep talking about it. Base runners any way possible. Right here, 0-2 down in the count. This ball comes in and catches Pena right on the elbow. It's going to be pretty close to the plate, too. Just inside there. Carlos right on top of it.
Yeah, that's not all that far off the plate. So 2 on. Now Ryan Roberts. Well, the Rays had a couple of men on in the first with 2 outs. Now 2 men on, nobody out in the second inning. Roberts hitting .225 with a couple home runs. And the pitch is a strike. Scott at second, Pena on first. And the pitch low and away. Roberts checked in time, 1-1.
Well, this is the spot of the order that actually has given Brandon McCarthy trouble. I mean, overall, league's hitting .268 off McCarthy. The 8 and 9 hole hitters hitting .324, a couple of home runs.
And Roberts tried to stop right there, upset with himself.
Yep.
And he's behind in the count, 1-2.
Chasing that breaking ball by McCarthy. Let's see how far. Yeah, just a little bit too far. A lot of times when you see that average differential, especially at the bottom of the lineup, it's a lack of concentration, lack of focus. I doubt that's the case now with 2 runners aboard and nobody out.
McCarthy keeps it away off the plate. It's a 2-2 count. And a base hit into left. Scott's going to stop at third, and the Rays will load the bases with nobody out. Well, Roberts got a 2-2 breaking ball, hit it through the hole between short and third.
I'll tell you what, Ryan Roberts has come up with some big hits when he's been down in the count recently, and this is another one. A breaking ball here by McCarthy. Not a bad pitch at all. But Roberts does a nice job of staying on it. Doesn't pull off of it, goes down and gets it. Hits it with some authority, gets it in the hole. Ray's got something brewing here.
Well, they're going to have Lobatone up here. Jose Lobatone with a chance to do some damage and get the Rays right back in this thing. His home runs have come from the left side. skied to left. That's going to send Cespedes back. Scott back to tag. He's on his way to the plate. The other runners will hold. And the Rays are on the board. Just like that, it's a 2-run game. Lobaton making contact, delivering a sacrifice fly in the first run of the game for the Rays. Well, the Rays trying to generate a little momentum, and they get a run. It all started on the bunt by Luke Scott, and he crosses the plate now. We'll go to the top of the order, Desmond Jennings. Jennings lined right back to McCarthy in the first inning. First pitch, a breaking ball, stays too high out of the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Jennings pops it into shallow center. It's Crisp coming in. 2 outs. Runner still at first and second with 2 gone. Sam Fold will be the hitter. Fold walked his first time. McCarthy with 2 walks in the first and a hit batter Pena here in the second inning. And most of the time McCarthy is very stingy with the walk. Swiped the base after drawing the walk in the first. So to drive in a run here, and the pitch is a strike.
Well, that has been the case with McCarthy, but he had 2 walks in the first, and then the 0-2 hit Carlos Pena on the elbow, so the command not quite all the way there. And on the other hand, we've seen him make some pretty quality pitches when he's needed to.
And misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
When he's got a chance to escape this inning with giving up just 1 run, and given the way that it started, he would take that all day long.
Cole pops it back foul. That'll play. The count is 1-2. Seeing from McCarthy always a little bit of movement on almost everything he throws.
Well, and as a hitter, you're not quite sure because the fastball and the cutter are so close in velocity. Is it going to come in on me? Is it going to break away?
And a miss there to run the count to 2-2.
We've seen a couple of good breaking balls too that you've got to look out for. In fact, he got that man right there, Matt Joyce, on a good curve ball.
Now he got him down in the count 1-2 and struck him out swinging on a curve. Now 2-2 to Sam Fold. And a foul tip strikeout. McCarthy picks up his second strikeout, and the Rays settle 4-1, 3-1 through 2.
Natalie Necro, the daughter of Joe Necro, the president and founder of the Joe Necro Foundation. Natalie, welcome. Tell us a little bit about the foundation. What's
Sure thing. Well, when my father passed away from a brain aneurysm in 2006, I didn't even know what one was. And so I committed myself to finding more out about this condition and started the foundation to really help raise awareness and research for the education and the importance of early detection, because it's a condition that's 100% treatable if you know that you have one.
And it seems like it's more prevalent than people realize.
It really is. It's 1 in 15 people, and strokes and aneurysms are very related. So a lot of people don't realize the importance of how significant being scanned is, and how important it is to look for the warning signs and the symptoms that come associated with either one of those conditions.
So if you want more information, as there's a high fly ball up the bat of Seth Smith all the way to the wall, Matt Joyce will look up, and this ball is gone. A home run for Oakland, and it's now 4-1. Dwayne, go ahead.
Well, that's the 12th home run of the year for Smith. He just recently off the disabled list, and he hit that ball just over the yellow railing out there for a home run. Second home run of the afternoon given up by Hellickson.
Well, this pitch right here, up and out over the plate. Seth Smith puts a charge into it, but extremely high. You didn't know if this was going to be able to get out of here, be caught, go high off that wall. At the end of the day, first row, 10th row, it all counts the same.
So there's Chris Carter taking the pitch for a strike. So Oakland gets that 3-run lead back on one swing of the bat from Smith. The pitch is now low, and the count goes to a ball and a strike. One ball, 2 strikes. A ball, 2 strikes. The pitch is low. 2-2. Well, it was Carter who hit the 2-run home run in the first inning. And he's out on strikes. That's the first out here in the third. Let's check back in with Todd for a moment. He's down there with Natalie Necro. Todd?
Yeah, that's right, Dwayne. And for more information, you want people to know about the website and also about a special way they can text to help out.
Sure thing. The website is joenecrofoundation.org. And today we're also doing a special campaign to text the word strikeout to 20222. And people will automatically make a $10 donation that just shows up on their cell phone bill.
There you go. Text strikeout to 20222. We are obviously a part of the baseball family. We miss your dad, and obviously this has been a huge part of your life ever since. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Natalie Necro, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you. Natalie here with her brother Lance, who played in the big leagues a lot with the Giants. And, of course, Joe Necro. You know, we were talking last night. Pitch to Reddick is down. We were talking last night about all the great rotations, and her dad, Joe, was part of that rotation for the Astros in '81 that had Nolan Ryan, Don Sutton, and Bob Nepper, and Joe Necro. And Joe with a long career along with his brother Phil. The most successful brother combo pitching in the major leagues in terms of wins. And Todd's right. Joe not only was a great pitcher, but a great personality in the game, and is missed. 3-1 the count now to Josh Reddick. Is lifted into right, or center field, right back down the middle, and Bold is there to make the catch. So Reddick is out number 2. Strikeout on a fly ball after the home run by Seth Smith. And now Josh Donaldson will be the hitter. Donaldson hit by a pitch his first time. This one is low. 1-0. Remember, it was always a crisis in the Negro family when Phil and Joe pitched against each other for their parents. You're thrilled to have two sons pitch in the big leagues, and you just hate it when they're pitching against each other.
Oh, yeah.
1-1 the count here to Donaldson. Cut by Donaldson on that fastball, and it catches part of Lobaton, apparently on the backswing.
Boy, right on that catching glove side. And that was a pretty good rip here by Donaldson. Let's check, see where it gets him. Coming back around. Wow, yeah, right on top of the hand. That is going to hurt.
And now all you have to do is go out and catch 90-mile-per-hour fastballs with that glove hand again. Lobaton shakes it off, says he's all right. We'll see. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Did you ever hit the back of your hand on a door or on a railing or something? That hurts.
Yeah.
What just happened there.
Right. I mean, a full swing coming around, hitting you right on top. I don't care if it caught part of that glove or not. Tip of that bat hitting you right on the back of your hand. The Rays don't need that. Neither does Jose.
Swing and a miss. Cut by Donaldson on the changeup. He's out on strikes. Bottom of the third coming. 4-1 Oakland.
A's 4-1. Take a look at today's text poll question brought to you by Autoway. What does the proposed trade of Adrian Gonzalez, Carl Crawford, and Josh Beckett mean for the future of the Boston Red Sox? TB1, simply a salary dump. TB2, change the clubhouse culture. TB3, youth movement. TB4, to empower Bobby Valentine, the manager. Text 789-789. Submit your vote. Standard message and data rates always apply.
Well, here's Matt Joyce leading off the bottom of the third, swinging and missing. A strike Well, here's that proposed deal that has been brewing and in the news the last day or two, and boy, is it a big one. Gonzalez and Beckett and Crawford headlining the potential move from Boston to the Dodgers. Nick Punto also involved in that trade, and James Loney would be the headliner going back the other way for the present time, but a lot of young talent apparently headed the other way when and if they sign off on that, and we keep hearing that it's imminent.
A lot of moving parts there. I mean, and you're right. You talk about some big time names moving west if it does go through, and the money that's going to go with them.
Yep. Yeah, it was 2-2.
You just who knows what money will be exchanged, but just the salary going that way, total, you're talking about $250 million.
Well, Gonzalez will be owed close to 100 and well, there you are, money owed. I was going to say close to 130. And what Beckett's making between 15 and 16 million a year. Matt Joyce caught looking right there for the first out in the bottom of the third.
And that's about $260 million right there.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a lot of dough.
Of course, Carl, former Ray there, over 100 million due, and he's looking at Tommy John surgery on his left elbow.
Yeah, and you know, when does that maybe puts Carl back on the field next All-Star break,
we
maybe?
were talking about that before the game, and that would be reasonable. Certainly to think maybe by the All-Star break he could be back.
Well, after a surgery on a position player, probably going to get back on the field a little sooner than a pitcher would. Maybe that 9-10 month range, 10 to be just a ballpark. But you start thinking next All-Star break at the earliest. Boy, that would be one of the bigger trades I could ever remember.
A breaking ball in to Evan for a strike. It's now 1-2. Evan fouls it right back over the screen. One out, base is empty. Well, and what we keep hearing is that could happen. It could be completed any minute. A little close to Longoria. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Longoria out on strikes. That fastball up with a little movement on it.
This is the last thing that you want to see is Brandon McCarthy start to find it. This is another fastball with some cutting action to it. He threw that one up in the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts here to start the third.
Yeah, and here's Ben Zobrist after striking out in the first and then having that conversation with Derek Shelton. Now 2 strikeouts here in the third. Base is empty. And Zobrist takes the pitch away. 1 ball, no strikes. Cut the miss. Yeah, McCarthy, normally you're going to see a lot of cut action, a lot of sinkers from him. That first pitch actually looked like a changeup.
It was a very hard changeup, mid-80s.
The pitch is foul the other way. Out of play, 1-2.
He definitely has the arsenal. He comes with that changeup. It's a hard changeup. The sinker we've seen 91, 92. We've seen it cut it at 90, 91, and then all of a sudden, we've seen a pretty good breaking ball. He can pitch ahead in the count. He can make life miserable on a hitter. Just not sure which way the ball's going to break. On top of that, too, 6'7", arms, legs, lots of limbs flying at you. Wiry.
1-2 popped up. Foul ball, and Contreras makes the adjustment in front of his own dugout to make the catch. 1-2-3 go the Rays. We head into the fourth. It's 4-1 Oakland. Rays down 4-1. AT Trivia question time. Well, the Rays staff leading the American League with 1,048 strikeouts. What's the American League record for strikeouts in a single season? Well, the Rays have had great strikeout pitching. And early and in the middle of the year when the offense was struggling, that strikeout pitching kept them within striking distance of the postseason, and that's where they are right now. Up by a game and a half in the wild card and in the middle of the race in the American League East. George Contreras, the catcher, leads it off. A strike to him. It's wide, and it's 1-1. Two. Harris, then Pennington, and Chris Dew. Two balls, two strikes. Some deep counts for Hellickson in this game in the early stages. With 4 strikeouts, giving up 4 runs, 6 hits, and a ground ball over the mound to short, handled by Zobrist, and the throw to first. Contreras is out number 1 in the 4th.
Well, this is just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by, that's right, Miller Lite. Wide mouth can.
Miller Time will be coming up, much anticipated later. The official announcement. A lot of baseball to be played. And strike the count. Miller Time at BA's. Inside, 1-1. tap. Lobaton down to Pena. Pennington is out number 2.
We've seen Jose Lobaton. I'll tell you, he can get out of that crouch and has good pop out of his position back there, making some nice plays. That one a little bit more routine. We've seen him make the running play, the running throw coming out. He gets out of there quick.
Yeah, since coming back from that shoulder situation, Lobaton's made some nice progress. He's done a nice job for the Rays.
Yes, he has.
Coco Crisp sends a fly ball to right toward the line. Matt Joyce is there, and it's a 1-2-3 fourth. Home half of the inning coming. 4-1 Oakland. Seems as if they started that way when Oakland put up 3 in the first. Rays got a run in the second. Oakland another run in the third. Luke Scott, Carlos Pena, and Ryan Roberts to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning against Brandon McCarthy. The Rays had a couple men on in the first, left a couple men after they scored a run in the second. And McCarthy had a very good 3rd inning with a couple strikeouts in a 1-2-3 frame. See what the Rays can do with him in the 4th. Luke Scott takes the pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, you just don't want to allow McCarthy to get settled in here. Continue to put the pressure on him. You do that via the base runner. Rays had some opportunities early. McCarthy held him to just a 1 run.
Scott looks at a strike. Luke bunted his way on to start the 2nd inning, and that led to a run. Wave and a miss at that curveball. 1-2. Ground ball right side. Carter makes the pickup and steps on the bag for the first out. Let's check in with Todd once again. Todd?
Dwayne, you remember that Rays broadcast auction? The big ticket item was a Carlos Pena hitting lesson that took place earlier this homestand.
You know what? It's always fun just to watch these kids smile and just enjoy, you know, being out here. It's actually flattering. You know, I walk out there, they have a smile on their faces because they're hanging out with me, you know, and they don't know I feel the same way about them. You know, so refreshing to see how much they love their game, and they're not really looking forward to instruction at all. They just want to pretty much emerge, you know, and spend some quality time together with someone they admire. And at the end of the day, I'm the one admiring them.
Lane Fox, his 3 sons, and their son's friend all had a good time out here. Carlos said it was more about just loving the game than actual lessons. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, what a great experience it is for those young ones. Want to know the count to Carlos Pena. Fouled it back. It's 1-1. Just to be on the field, on a big league field at that point, and getting a few swings and making contact. That's a great experience. One ball, one strike. One and two. 4-6-0 for Oakland. 1-2-1 for the Rays. Pena swing at a foul tip strikeout right back in to the mid of the Oakland catcher. 2 up, 2 down. Now Ryan Roberts. Ground ball to third, sharply hit, but Donaldson right there in front of it makes the play. And the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 for the second consecutive inning. On to the fifth, 4-1 Oakland. Here, 4-1. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Rays staff leading the American League with 1,048 strikeouts. What's the American League record for strikeouts in a single season? That would be 1,266. The 2001 Yankees, and you can see the pace the Rays are on with the strikeout pitching staff. 1,344 strikeouts. That's the pace for the Rays. Rays had 11 combined strikeouts last night, led by Matt Moore, who had 7. First pitch to Stephen Drew outside. Well, Hellickson made 41 pitches in the first inning and then 40 spread over the next 3. So 81 to start this inning here in the 5th. And he has fallen behind Drew 2-0. behind Drew. 3 balls, no strikes. There's a strike. Hellickson coming off the 7-inning stint and a win over Kansas City. His last outing, he made 98 pitches and won that game 5-1. And he just walked Drew, or did he? Nope, he went around. Drew thought he had drawn the walk, and on the appeal, Eric Cooper down there says, nope, that's a strike, and the count is full.
And I think Eric Cooper got it right. And I think that the Oakland dugout disagrees.
A little conversation going with Mike Gallego, the third base coach.
It's close. Saw a little action there in the bat head, and I think that's what Cooper was going by.
3-2's popped up. Longoria has plenty of room and makes the catch, 1 away. Well, Drew is out of there, and it's time for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge spotlight. How about Adrian Beltre? The Rays will be headed to Texas to take on the Rangers. Hit for the cycle last night. 6th time in Texas history. Just as Beltre gives the Rangers an extra edge, you can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. Rays start their road trip Monday night in Texas and then move into Toronto. Next couple of weeks big for the Rays when you look at the projected schedule the rest of the way. The breaking ball into Cespedes for a strike. Rays right now 16-6 in the month of August, and they'll be starting the series against the Rangers Monday night. We'll be with you at 7:30 as David Price goes after his 17th win. 3 in Texas and then 4 in Toronto and then back home against the Yankees and Texas. So the next couple of weeks, very big weeks here for the Rays in this race.
You're going to face a lot of stiff competition, but you know what? The one thing that the Rays have going for them and why you don't get overly concerned about those big matchups is the pitching staff. And if they're on, I don't care who they're facing. They've got a great chance to be in the game and win those games. And oh, by the way, we've seen the Rays, when they do get into those situations where they're playing the top-notch, high-profile teams, they raise their game.
Yeah, they seem to like it.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. In fact, the big fear with the Rays was a lot of times playing down to their competition.
It's going to take the count to 2-2 on Cespedes.
You didn't worry about them playing the Yankees. They get up for those games. It was the games against the Kansas Cities, the Central, where they've struggled this year. Some of the teams that you would expect them to beat, on paper they should beat, where they have clear, edges and advantages in the pitching matchups, and just did not get it done. Boy, those big series, they come out guns blazing.
Well, the Rays are still under 500 against Central Division competition. Ground ball left side, scooped by Zobrist, and the throw in time. Rays shifting for Cespedes, overloading the left side, and Zobrist makes that play.
It's a nice play by Ben, moving to his left and having to throw on the run. Coming over and then making that throw. We talked a little bit in the pregame show about that move that Ben made over there and how Joe, it kind of started off as an experiment. You wanted to see how Ben would transition over there, how the offense would be affected, what would he be able to do defensively. And I think what we've seen is Ben, very solid shortstop, not spectacular, but he's going to make all the plays that he should, not going to hurt you there. And certainly the offense has not been affected one bit, and it allows Joe, because he can put him there, he can now, Ryan Roberts can go out to second, Longoria, Keppinger, different combinations of players, get more offense out on the field.
There's a strike to Smith, 1-1. Well, the idea of versatility, clubs have always talked about depth, but just beyond the depth, just the versatility and the ability then to match up and make moves. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There used to be such a premium on a regular set lineup. That was the ideal. I'm not sure that's the ideal any longer, and certainly not with Joe Madden. You'd like to have 2 or 3 or 4 players maybe pretty much set, but Joe loves the idea of interchangeable parts because from a strategic perspective it gives him all kinds of options.
Well, that's it. It gives him something to do. I mean, if you gave Joe Madden and this organization a set lineup, they'd be bored. I mean, that wouldn't fly here. You've got to have different combinations, move this and that. I like this guy on this. I mean, you just got to keeps Joe up at night, gives him something to do. He loves it.
Gives him that edge.
We love it.
Yeah.
Come in.
It's fun.
What's in the lineup today?
Absolutely. Swing and a miss. Smith is out on strikes. That's 9 in a row since the Smith home run. 4-1. We are in the middle of inning 5. By your local Southern Ford dealers and by Subway restaurants. Play hard, eat fresh. Moving into the bottom of the 5th inning. Oakland has a 4-1 lead as the Rays try to figure out Brandon McCarthy. They got a run off him in the 2nd on a sacrifice fly by Jose Lobaton. And Lobaton's going to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Jennings and Foles will follow. And the first pitch is a strike. Hellickson has a string of 9 in a row retired. So does McCarthy. Fighting down and in. 0-2.
Well, this is where McCarthy's starting to get it rolling. A couple of tough pitches there. The change up, down and away in a perfect spot. Then how about that breaking ball? Sweeping it down and in. Some extreme looks there.
A ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, look at that.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
You're talking about locking it in at the opportune time. McCarthy's run of 9 straight hitters retired came on the heels of the Rays starting off that 2nd inning by loading the bases. He shut it down since then.
Now full count to Lobaton. Lobaton fouls it right back. Fastball. The Rays taking the first game 5-0 on the 4-hit shutout by Alex Cobb. Oakland winning last night 5-4. And they've scored 4 runs today. Oakland leading 4-1. And a line drive going to be caught by Drew, who is shaded up the middle. And Lobaton is out number 1.
Well, for all the latest updates on your Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com, powered by the Tampa Bay Times.
Top of the order, Desmond Jennings trying to figure out how to reach base there and try to get something started. 10 in a row, retired by McCarthy. The curveball misses. A ball, no strikes. One. Well, Oakland came into this series second in the league in team ERA, behind only the Rays. There's a shot deep into left center field. That's going to carry out. Home run on a 1-1 pitch. Desmond Jennings drives it out of here, just over the wall out there in left center field. His 10th home run of the year, and the Rays again are down by only 2.
Well, I did not think that ball was going to get out of here. Desmond put a charge into it, but he hits it out left center field, deep part here. But boy, the carry on that, the way that Desmond was able to get that ball out there on a string and just sneak it over the wall right there. First row. That was a missile.
Now here's Sam Pohl putting down a bunt, picked up by McCarthy, and he tosses to first to get Carter. So Sam Pohl, trying to bunt his way on, is retired. Well, Jennings did put a line drive charge into that pitch to hit his 10th home run of the season.
It just wouldn't come down. I thought that ball was going to be a gapper, double, depending on the way it kicked off the wall, maybe a triple.
You know, he got the kind of carry that Longoria, when he's going well, Longoria gets great carry on the overhead like that, and this one just would not come down until it hit the stands. Matt Joyce takes a breaking ball, and that's in there for a strike.
Longoria, you know, he's so quick with his hands. He's able to get into that baseball and create that backspin, and that's where you get the carry. That ball just goes up and just keeps on going. It's very similar. That was a impressive shot there by Desmond.
Pitch breaks down and in, out of the zone. 1-1. The home run by Jennings, the 120th the Rays have hit. Badenhop the righty and Howell the lefty up in the Rays bullpen. Joyce down, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shot, look out, down toward the bullpen, down to the bullpen bench. A bit away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball, back of the bag at first, but picked up by Carter, who makes the play unassisted. Rays get a run, however, on the home run by Desmond Jennings. A line shot out to left center, and it's a 2-run game. 4-2 Oakland.
Rays 4-2. We've got a special Inside the Rays coming your way on the Relief Corps after tonight's postgame. This bullpen that's been dominant this season. And the Inside the Rays that everybody's waiting to see, our final installment, will be on our very own Todd Kalas. Many wonder, what would his ideal date be like? Well, here's a little preview of Inside the Rays on Todd.
It would have to involve the water in some way. I used to have a boat, and there was no better dates than just going out on the water and chilling with the person you were dating at the time. That's got to be a part of it. So that would be part of the ideal date. I think at some point it has to involve a really nice restaurant, a little bit of steak, a little bit of lobster, and some good wine. Those 3 elements have to be in there.
Dwayne, Todd is always the romantic, a very lucky lady getting that date.
Yeah, you're right about Todd being the romantic.
Yeah, and slow down on the lady. Now, he has not taken me up on my offer, but I have told Todd.
You're available?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
After hearing the ideal date, I've told him I'm all in.
You like the,
on air, I told him.
You like the lobster or you like the water part?
The wine, lobster, steak. Water's fine.
Being on the water?
Being with Todd.
There you go. Burke Badenhop on the mound for the Rays. Retired Carter on a little pop foul. Josh Reddick takes the pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one. Hey, there's Todd. That's part of his favorite date right there on the water.
Look at the trop right over.
Somewhere over there.
Yep. Straight ahead. Straight ahead.
And a little looper into left, a base hit for Reddick. He's on for the second time, taking a big turn there at first base. Yeah, Todd out right in the middle of the game, out for a little spin in the bay.
Little walkthrough. Yeah, a little Saturday walkthrough.
Yeah, he's not here. We've been looking for him. He's on the water, prepping for the perfect date.
He could be coming in here to club me.
Josh Donaldson. 1 ball and no strikes. Donaldson hit by a pitch in the first, and he struck out swinging in the third. Inside the Rays, the bullpen, boy, they've been great. It's coming up, and then the inside look at Todd Kalas. It's mid-September. That one will be out. 1-1. The count here to Donaldson. 4-7-0 for Oakland. 2-3-1 for the Rays. First Baden Hop trying to hold Oakland right here and give the Rays offense a chance. Oakland grabbed the lead with a 3-run first. One ball, 2 strikes. Baden Hop making his first appearance on this. Upstairs with that pitch. 1-1, or 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 on, 1 out. Catcher George Contreras on deck. The ground ball headed to short. Zobrist with a toss to Roberts. 1. First base 2 on the 6-4-3 double play. Bottom of inning 6 coming up. 4-2 Oakland. Run first for Oakland. First run scored on the throwing error, and then Chris Carter hit a 2-run home run that made all 3 of those runs earned in the first. Rays got a run in the second inning. It came on a fly ball by Jose Lobaton, scoring Luke Scott. Seth Smith hit a home run in the third, and the Rays got the home run from Desmond Jennings in the 5th inning to make it 4-2. And Evan Longoria leads off the bottom of the 6th. The Rays trailing the big right-hander Brandon McCarthy by those 2 runs. Tapped the third. Donaldson's throw across to Carter. And Evan Longoria is the first out, going out on the first pitch in the 6th. Well, since the Rays loaded the bases with nobody out in the 2nd and got that run on the fly ball by Lobaton, the only hit they've had since then is the Jennings home run. The only base runner they've had since then is the Jennings home run. It's been Zobrist. That's a strike. Zobrist 0 for 2. Jerry Blevins up in the Rays bullpen. He's been tough during his career against the Rays. 1-1 the count. And fouled out to the catcher in the third after striking out in the first. There's a line drive, base hit into right center field. Chris makes the pickup. Zobra's going to dig for two. He is in there. Zobrist hustles his way into two. And suddenly the Rays have a scoring opportunity.
Well, how many times have we seen that from the Rays here in the last couple of weeks? Very aggressive out of the box, not conceding the single, looking to go for two until they're given a reason to hold up. This ball out over the plate, Ben smokes it out into right center. Look at him, no hesitation. He's thinking two the whole way and makes it easy.
Zobrist aboard for the first time in this game. That's his 32nd double of the year. And it gives Luke Scott an opportunity. With the man in scoring position, Luke becomes the potential tying run in the batter's box here. Curveball, he took a big cut, missed it. Strike one. Luke's bunt single in the second led to the first run for the Rays. It's 3 out of 8, including that bunt single, 3 of 8 lifetime against McCarthy. 0-2, breaking ball again.
A couple of nasty curveballs there by McCarthy, keeping him down below the zone. Luke Scott here in a hole.
Zobrist the lead back at second. Down and in. A little harder on the breaking ball that time, and it's 1-2.
Now that's a classic case of you throw a couple of very good curveballs and now you're going to make it even nastier. You try to jump on it a little bit more, make it a little bit more extreme, and it ends up taking it right out of the zone, forces your catcher to have to make a pretty nice block.
Fly ball lifted into left center. Cespedes is over from left to make the catch. 2 outs.
Well, place your reservations for 2013 season tickets. Establish seniority today and be in line for priority upgrades and exclusive benefits, including the opportunity to purchase 2012 postseason ticket packages. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Now it's Carlos Pena. Pena has been hit by a pitch and has struck out. 2 for 8 lifetime off McCarthy with a home run. Rays need a long one to tie. Bottom half of the 6th. Pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes.
Tampa Bay Times is adding hundreds of new subscribers each week. Join them with a subscription to Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper. Call 877-THE-TIMES or visit tampabay.com/Rays offer. Come with us around the corner, around the globe.
Carlos pops it up, foul back at third. Donaldson makes the catch, and that retires the side. Rays get a double, leave a man. We're through 6, 4-2 Oakland. Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. We welcome you and salute you for your service and hope you enjoy this afternoon's telecast. Oakland leading 4-2, and J.P. Howell is pitcher number 3 for the Rays. 1 inning stint for Baden Hopp, and now Howell. George Gutierrez, the catcher, to face J.P. And the pitch is a strike. How about this? 25 2/3 for J.P. No runs, 22 games. That scoreless streak continues.
JP has been so consistent. We've seen his pitches as good as they've been in a couple of years.
1-1.
And more consistent with that fastball. Not only the location, but the velocity on it has been as good as we've seen.
Yeah, we saw him come back and last year make a great pitch, but just wasn't to a point physically where he could consistently make those great pitches. Well, he's making great pitches all the time now.
Yeah, well, it's about repeating your delivery, right, and the consistency, and that's exactly what he's been able to do with good late movement on that fastball. The curveballs come back around, and obviously with the streak that he's on, pitching with a lot of confidence.
2-2. Full to Gutierrez. Hellickson worked 5 innings today, gave up 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks, hit a man, a couple of home runs, 97 pitches. Baden Hopp 1 inning, 1 hit, got a double play ball. Now J.P. Howell and a soft fly ball to left. Desmond Jennings makes the catch. 1 out here in the 7th.
Well, coming up on Mondays, Rays Live, the pregame presented by Gulf Coast Honda. David Price will be going after his 17th win of the season against the Texas Rangers. We'll talk about their big bats, Josh Hamilton and Adrian Beltre, and I will have some sort of topic to break down for you.
Pennington hitting from the right side, and the pitch is high. 1-0. Well, Texas, as of today, leading Oakland by 6 in the AL West. Line drive. That's a foul ball. The count is 1-1. Texas home later on. They'll take on Minnesota. Rays will have tomorrow off and travel to Texas. Inside. Two balls, 1 strike. Fastball missed, and the count is 3-1. J.P. Howell to the plate. And we have a full count again. Went 3-2 to Gutierrez. Got him on a fly ball to left. Now 3-2 to Pennington. Coco Crisp on deck. Well, JP in 08 and 09 combined had a 2.48 earned run average, and then missed 2010 because of the shoulder injury. There's strike 3 call. Pennington caught looking. Pitch that came back. 2 gone. Boy, he continues to make those great pitches.
And spotted up the fastball in there. The ball started a little bit off the plate, but the late movement right back to the glove of Lobaton, certainly close enough to call. And he gets it.
So 2 up, 2 down.
No, that's been the story of this series, really. 3 umpires that have been behind home plate. Eric Cooper, Vic Carapazza, now Marty Foster, not afraid to call the strike.
It straightens crisp right up. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch a little close. 2-0. Neshek loosening in the bullpen. There's a strike from J.P. Howell. 2-1. Fly ball headed to left center. Jennings on the run. So is Full. That's off the wall. Jennings, a nice job to play the carom. It's going to be a double for Chris. His 3rd hit of this game into left center field and off the wall.
That fastball from JP stayed up. Chris puts a nice swing on it, gets it out to left center field, but a nice job out there by Fold and Desmond. Kind of tag team this baseball. Desmond gets out in front of it, able to cut that ball off and keep Coco at second base.
Yeah, that's great teamwork out there between 2 outfielders. Fold going for the catch and Jennings for the carom.
Oh yeah, think about both of them go for it. That ball bounces off with Coco's speed. Now you got to chase it down. He's in a foot race, probably to 3rd at the minimum.
Jim Hickey spending a little time on the mound to go over this situation, and Stephen Drew, the hitter, due up. Drew 1 for 3. Drew singled in the 1st inning, scored a run. He's 1 for 3 after lining out and fouling out. Pitch is a strike. So the A's have a man in scoring position for the first time since the 1st. 2 of 5 with men in scoring position in the 1st inning. Now the runner takes off. The throw down to 3rd. Gonna get it. Crisp. Caught trying to steal 3rd as Longoria takes the peg from Lobaton and puts the tag on Coco Chris. That retires the side. 7th inning stretch time. 4-2 Oakland. Seventh inning finds Ryan Roberts leading off in this 4-2 game. First pitch is a strike call from McCarthy. Roberts single on a breaking ball in the second inning. Grounded to third his last time up there. Down and away. It's 1-1. Little tap left side. Donaldson gloves and throws low, and it's picked up over there by Carter.
And he almost got caught out of position again with that footwork already set as Donaldson comes in to field that ball. That throw just a little bit offline and low, and Carter he got it done, but it was, see right there, boy, that was late.
It's Jose Lobaton. Pitch number 100 is tapped to the right side. Carter and McCarthy covers. So 2 quick outs now in the 7th inning.
Well, the Mosaic Company and the Rays are working together to end hunger through home runs for food. Each Rays home run, Mosaic donates $500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. So far, $60,000 has been donated.
Well, the left-hander Blevins up again. Desmond Jennings. Oh, the pitch is a strike. Desmond homered in the 5th. Pitch is high. Here's a look at that home run into left center field. This wouldn't come down until it reached the seats.
He got down and threw that baseball with some power.
Pitch upstairs. 2-1. Rays trailed by 2. They've been out hit by 4. And a foul ball straight back this way and off the facing of the deck just above us. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the count runs full. There's 2 walks issued by McCarthy. They both came in the 1st. Peralta and Farnsworth in the Rays bullpen. And the foul headed out of play, forcing another 3-2 pitch. Pass along birthday wishes to Ruth Dearborn. She's 85 today. The aunt of the late Mike Flanagan, the great left-handed pitcher. She's at the ballpark today rooting for the Rays. Cut and a miss by Desmond Jennings. He's out on strikes. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays in the 7th. They trail by 2. 4-2, Oakland leading and coming into bat in the 8th inning. The Rays counter with Kyle Farnsworth, pitcher number 4 on the hill for the Rays in this game.
Well, Kyle comes on for the 19th time, 16 innings of work, 16 strikeouts.
Well, Stephen Drew was at the plate in the 7th when Chris was caught trying to steal third. Drew the first man to face Farnsworth, and that's strike. Cespedes will follow, and then Smith. A scoreless inning for J.P. Howell in the 7th to extend his streak. 0-2 the count to Drew. It's 26 2/3 now for J.P. Howell. Drew part of the 3-run first when he singled and scored. He scored on the Carter home run. Carter and Smith have homered for Oakland. Pitch is outside, 1-2. The Rays got one a round tripper from Desmond Jennings in the 5th. And strike 3 called on Drew. Out number 1.
Well, young Disney sensation Coco Jones will perform at Tropicana Field on Sunday, September 9th after the Rays play the Rangers as part of Family Fun Day presented by the Tampa Bay Times. The first 10,000 kids aged 14 and under will also receive an Evan Longoria mini drum set. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com.
Now Yoenis Cespedes, who is 0 for 3 on the day. And there's a strike and a cut and a miss. Nice slider right there from Kyle Farnsworth.
We've seen a couple of back-to-back. Same pitch that he put Drew away with.
Fly ball center field. Sam Full turns around and makes the catch. And about 3 or 4 steps before he got to the track in center. 2 up, 2 down. Seth Smith is in there as the designated hitter. He has struck out twice, and in between hit his 12th home run of the year. Swing and a miss. Smith's home run.
Yeah, you didn't know if it was going to get out. That ball was hit so high. It just kept tracking, landed right over the wall, the first row.
Two strikes. Tap to the right side. That's Roberts. To Pena. 1-2-3 inning in the 8th for Farnsworth. Rays coming into bat in the bottom, trailing by 2.
A's 4-2. You can experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale menu and inclusive drink options. For tickets and more information, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Well, the Rays are down 4-2. Sean Doolittle, the left-hander, will come on now with Bold and Joyce due up to lead off the bottom of the 8th. And behind them, Longoria. B.J. Upton already has emerged from the dugout and is in the on-deck circle. Doolittle's pitch to Bold is a strike. McCarthy worked 7, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs. He walked 2, struck out 7, made 107 pitches. Doolittle is ahead of Sam Fold, 0-2. Close right there, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball lifted into short right. Here comes Reddick, and he makes the grab on the move. 1 out. Now Upton will pinch hit for Joyce. Man have gone 0 for 3 against McCarthy.
Looks like Bob Melvin's going to stick here with Doolittle. Nobody warming up in the bullpen. I'm going to tell you something right now. B.J. Upton pinch hitting this situation. First pitch fastball that is not well located. I think he's coming out of his shoes.
Doolittle
not
throws him a fastball, and
right,
that's a strike. There's a big cut and a miss at a fastball, and it's 0-2. The 0-2, swing and a miss, fastball, couple of big cuts, but he comes up empty on the fastball, and Doolittle registers his first strikeout.
Boy, Doolittle did not mess around at all. 0-2 heater, he wants that away, but ends up catching a lot of plate, but it's elevated enough. He gets it over the swing of B.J. Upton, and 3 straight heaters, out number 2.
Here's Evan. Longoria 0 for 2 with a walk. And the pitch, a strike.
Doolittle, a lot of strikeouts for the innings pitched. He does a nice job of bringing that pitching arm down behind that back hip, hiding the hand, and then the ball shoots out. Pretty good velocity.
A 1-1 count. Pitch popped up, foul ball. That will carry out a play. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2. Doolittle was in the game for a third of an inning last night when he struck out Carlos Pena. And he strikes out Evan Longoria. 2 strikeouts here in the 8th. On to the 9th, 4-2 Oakland. We go. Our Toyota inside look coming up.
Sean Doolittle with an explosive fastball. And we talked about strikeouts per 9 innings coming into today, 13.7. He had 43 strikeouts in 28 in the third innings. Now make it 45 in 29 in the third. Very impressive. And that last fastball that he got Evan Longoria on, that was clocked at 96.
And you know what his strikeout to walk ratio is now? 45-7. So he's not walking anybody, and he's striking out almost everyone.
That's a good combination.
Well, Jake McGee, speaking of a good strikeout to walk ratio, Jake McGee, the new pitcher for the Rays, first pitch to Chris Carter is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Upton in center field. Fold moves over to play right. And the count is 1-1. McGee faced 2 hitters in the game last night. Registered strikeouts. Two balls and a strike. Well, McGee trying to hold Oakland here in the 9th and give the Rays a shot in the bottom half of the inning. Strike at the knees to even the count, 2-2. Ground ball back at third, comes up on Longoria, bounding into shallow left, and it's tracked down by Zobrist. There'll be an error charged to Evan. So Longoria charged with an error here in the 9th inning.
Well, that ball just comes off the thumb of the glove there. It looked like Evan moved over to his right, looked to be in pretty good shape there, and just didn't make the play.
It's Josh Reddick. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Rays charged with their 2nd error of this game. Those are the only 2 errors by either team in this series. Two balls, no strikes to Reddick. Strike at the knees. 2-1. Rays in the bottom of the 9th have Zobrist, Scott, and Pena due up. Liner into the right field corner. One hops the wall. Down there to make the pickup. Full to throw back to second. Reddick gets in there as Carter advances to third on the double by Reddick. Nice job by Full to play that ball in right field, and Reddick hustling his way into second with a double.
Yeah, very rarely do you see an offensive and defensive player both do a nice job. Reddick, first of all, rips his ball into the corner, but Sam Fuld plays it nicely off the wall, bare hand, turns, accurate throw, but watch the slide by Reddick. Gets that underneath the tag of Ben Zobrist, gets that right hand in there, goes low, is able to avoid the tag.
Sliding the body away from the tag to the infield side of second base. So trouble here in the ninth on the error and the double. Two men in scoring position with nobody out. And the infield forced to come up. Pitch is outside to Donaldson. Donaldson was hit by a pitch in the first by Hellickson. Since then he has struck out and has grounded into a double play. Strike at the knees. 1-1. Well, the Rays started the day 3.5 back of the Yankees. They're on the road tonight in Cleveland. It'll be Corota and Masterson. We started the day up 1.5 on Baltimore and Oakland. Wade Davis is he in the right field bullpen. 2 balls and a strike. Harris, the catcher, is on deck. Time granted by the plate umpire Marty Foster. Jake McGee has followed Farnsworth. And the 2-1 from Jake. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's where you go for the strikeout. Infield in. Runners on second and third. Jake McGee. Big fastball, more than capable of picking up a strikeout. You work your way, make pitches, try to get to 2 strikes, and then once you do, that's when you go for it.
2-2. And he got it. Struck him out. Hard stuff again at 96. Big strikeout right there of Donaldson.
Jake McGee, there's nothing fancy about this. Just powering a 4-seamer right down the middle of the plate and shoots it right by Donaldson. A big first out for Jake. Coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers, Todd and Orestes. They will be in center field, leading all of the action, controlling all the action. You'll hear what Joe Madden has to say about this afternoon's game, and Laura will be down in the Rays clubhouse gathering interviews.
Well, Derek Norris will pinch hit for the catcher Coteras. Norris from the right side. Harris had gone 0 for 3, and so they want the right-handed bat of Norris in there against McGee. Infield stays in with 1 out and men at second and third. There's a first pitch strike. McGee in a spot trying to hold the deficit at 2. And a late cut there. More hard stuff. 96.
Yeah, and it just took Norris too long to get that swing started. 96, the way this ball jumps out of Jake McGee's hands. Look at everything taking a little bit too much time. The swing gets a little long. The ball gets by you. Now, once again, Jake here with 2 strikes, thinking nothing but strikeout.
The 0-2 down around his feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Norris caught last night's game. Was hit by a pitch and drove in a run with a double, officially 1 for 3 after going 0 for 3 in the game Thursday. The 1-2. Strike 3 call. 97 catches him looking. So back-to-back strikeouts here after the error in the double. 2 outs with runners still at second and third.
Well, that's one way that the Rays pitching staff, and Dwayne, that's been something you've been talking about all season long, the way they've been able to overcome some of the error issues that this team has had is via the strikeout. And when you can do that, listen, second and third, nobody out, ninth inning, you're already down 2. You cannot give up another run. And so you're able to come back, get 2 strikeouts. Now you got a chance to get on this inning unscathed, where it didn't look very good a couple of minutes ago.
Here's Cliff Pennington. 2 for 3, called out on strikes in the 7th. And he is late, strike 1. Well, the Rays have featured strikeout pitching, and it has kept them in the race and now up in the wild card with a little help from some added offense. McGee trying to keep the deficit right where it is. But fastball has done the job so far. The 0-1 outside. Pennington takes it. 1-1. Hellickson, Badenhop, Howell, Farnsworth, and McGee. Swing and a miss again. Strike 2 at 96. Hellickson had 6 strikeouts. Badenhop 1, Howell 1. And the pitch on the way. That's foul out of play. So we'll do it again. Hellickson had 5 strikeouts. Howell had 1, Farnsworth 1. That's 7, and 2 from McGee. The Rays with a total of 9 strikeouts. And McGee's trying to finish off Pennington to leave these 2 runners stranded. Inside. 2-2, just one fastball right after another, and nothing below 96.
Well, that's Jake's game. I mean, that's what he does a lot. He's got a slider. Doesn't go to it very often. In these types of situations with the adrenaline pumping through those veins, rears back and lets you have the hard stuff.
2-2. He just about had him. Just a little piece of that one off the mid of Lobaton. He was that close from striking out the side.
Well, here it is. Just a piece of it. You see how that rattled around the right arm and right chest area of Marty Foster. That's why you see Jose Lobaton out there on the mound right now, just giving Marty a chance to catch his breath and get ready to go again. Jake's been throwing the ball well. No reason to be out there other than to give that home plate umpire, Marty Foster, a minute to collect himself.
Carter at third, Reddick at second. Donaldson struck out. Norris struck out. 2-2 to Pennington. McGee's pitch. And that pitch close. Pennington checked. And the count runs full.
This ball moves a little bit too far in. They're trying to get him on the swing there, but you can see Pennington held up.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And a foul back. 26 pitches in this inning by Jake McGee. He is firing away. Pennington chased a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. McGee, after the error in the double, strikes out the side. He got Donaldson at 96. He got Norris looking at 97. And Pennington chasing at 96.
By authority of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Rays coming in for their final shot. Jake McGee striking out the side, leaving two Oakland runners in scoring position in the top of the ninth. And in the bottom, Ben Zobrist will lead it off, and Grant Balfour, the former Ray, who got credit for a save last night, comes on in the bottom of the ninth now for Oakland.
Now Grant, 6 for 6 since coming back into the closer's role in mid-August. Had a little bit of a high wire act in last night's ball game. Ultimately got the job done, but boy, you've got to tip your hat for the Rays to have this opportunity of just being down 2 to Jake McGee and having to deal with an error to open up the inning and then a double. Runners on second and third. He comes back and punches out 3 guys in a row, giving the Rays the shot here.
So Ben Zobrist steps in here against Grant Balfour. Doolittle worked 1 inning, picked up 2 strikeouts. Ben doubled in the 6th, was left on base. First pitch is away. 1 ball, no strikes. McCarthy for 7, Doolittle for 1. And a one-hopper to short. That's Drew, who was shaded toward the middle. Close at first. Boy, was that close. Zobrist getting down the line, and a very close call at first.
Yeah, Stephen Drew can laugh about it now, but Ben Zobrist is hustling up the line. This ball was smoked, so it gets to Drew in plenty of time. You see him take his time, make the throw, and man.
I'm telling you, that was close. It's close even when you slow it down.
Yeah, bang, bang. Let's see. I mean, by a toe.
There's Luke Scott. The strike. Well, a great effort there by Zobrist. And now Luke Scott hitting against Balfour. They have the shift on for Scott. And a long one, but well fouled. And that advances the count to 0-2. Scott scored the first run for the Rays when he bunted his way on in the second. Down against Balfour, 2 strikes in the 9th. And a cut and a miss. Scott is out number 2.
Well, we've seen Oakland all day attacking Luke Scott with that breaking ball down in the zone. That's what Balfour does right there after getting ahead. Throws a nasty one down and in for the second out. And the Rays now are really down to their final shot.
So Carlos Pena up here, the final hope for the Rays. We go for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. Balfour to the plate, and it's a strike at the knees. The shift remains in place for Oakland. And a fly ball lifted toward right center. Reddick and Crisp, and Coco Crisp makes the catch to retire the side. And in this ball game, the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 in the 9th, and Oakland, on the strength of a 3-run first and another run in the 3rd, holds on to win it. It's 4-2 the final, and so Oakland wins 2 out of 3 in this series from the Rays. 4-9-0 with 5 left for Oakland. 2-4-2 with 5 left for the Rays. McCarthy, the winning pitcher, 7-5. Hellickson, the losing pitcher, dropping his record to 8-9. Balfour gets the save before 18,187. We promised earlier in the game, Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And the final out of this game, giving Balfour the save and Oakland the win. Fly ball caught by Crisp in center off the bat of Carlos Pena. 4-2 the final. Oakland back in a moment.